Hey guys, so who should you choose? I think this is like the 12th episode. You guys are killing it with the comments, so I decided I might as well keep it up every single day as long as I can. If you're new to these videos, all you've got to do is subscribe to my channel, mark it as public so I can actually see that you're subscribed to me. There'll be a little red icon beside your comment if you are, and then I can you'll jump to the head of the list for all these questions. That's all I ask, and yeah, so let's get into it. Then just comment what cards to choose between. So let's get into it. Today we start with the only Zeets. Hey, Hulk Hogan or The Rock? I grew up in the Attitude Era, and The Rock is and will always be the best wrestler. I was also at WrestleMania 18 when Hulk Hogan faced The Rock, but I was like 12 and I don't really remember it. Domsky, hey Sleeves, love the videos, buddy. Do I upgrade the Medano that's sitting in my collection, or do I build the 91 Lemieux and then later upgrade him to the 95? Thanks. I would upgrade the Medano because it would take, more to build the 91 than the 95, and then obviously the 99 at the end of the year. But I would build the Medano and then upgrade elsewhere. At this stage, it's going to take you a long time probably, unless you're spending money to get that. So I would just upgrade the Medano and then look to upgrade elsewhere. Jack Laser 95 Medano or 95 Pedersen. Personal preference, I hate Pedersen cards. I just find them to be super frail and lanky. He's very tall, but he's very, very skinny, and I find that even though he is tall, he gets bumped off the puck and he isn't solid, as they say, but his speed and shot are unquestioned. I would take the 95 Medano. That's all personal, though. If you like Pedersen cards, I'd probably go Pedersen. This one comes in from Alexander McCool. Hey, Sleeves, love the content. 94 Champions Forsberg or the 95 Zibanejad. I was actually able to play NHL 20 with Philip Forsberg a couple weeks ago. He is an awesome guy and actually pretty good at the game. But in this case, you got to go with the 95 Zibanejad. This one comes from Evan Clark. Hey, Sleeves, really appreciate the content. More of a general question. I have trouble online sometimes consistently scoring. Mostly I find that I try and force way too many cross-ice passes through lanes, and as a result, I become easier to defend, and it becomes frustrating. Any advice on this? Keep up the great content. So this is just kind of what has happened in NHL 20. Everyone at the beginning of this year put the collapsing protect net as their defensive strategy, as opposed to being able to be more aggressive, like in NHL 18 when the AI actually did something. The AI doesn't really do anything anymore. They don't attack the puck. They will attack the player, but they'll never actually make a move on the puck, meaning that unless you're manually defending, the player controlling the puck really isn't going to lose it unless they run into someone. So everyone is using collapsing protect net. What I would recommend, honestly, if you're playing Hockey Ultimate Team, is D-to-D one-timers. Those are almost always open now because of the new meta with protect net and collapsing, meaning everything's in front, which means your points are open. But more importantly, make sure that you're not just ripping D-to-D one-timers, because eventually someone will catch on and they'll sit middle and that'll be a breakaway against. Be sure that if you catch a pass and you have space to drive the slot with your defenseman, I would 100% do that as well, as that has become really effective, and then pick your corner and where to snipe. But yeah, a lot of players run into this where they're trying to force cross-ice passes when they're down. Just look for the open guy. Too many players are trying to focus on getting that perfect one-timer. Just focus on the open guy. This comes from Zach Populate. Sleeves, love the content. Thanks for answering my last question. No problem, dude. Had one more. Just pulled an untradeable 91 Mike Smith. I have 96 of Noonan. Is it worth selling the Noonan and using the Smith so I can save $250K? Personally, yes, because I don't think any goaltender should be worth $250K. Just better defense is going to stop you from letting in pucks, and 96 of Noonan really isn't going to save you that much more than a 91 Mike Smith, in my opinion. I'd rather spend that $250 on my offense, so I would do that. Nick Sheesh. Love the videos. Hoping you'll get to my question this time. Sorry, man. I'm deciding which defenseman... All right, 1 second here. I'm deciding which defenseman to replace 93 Weber paired with 97 Coffee, or 93 Team of the Week Pietrangelo paired with 97 Team of the Season Bean. I wasn't able to upgrade the 97 Weather, and now I'm stuck with the Fantasy Hockey one. I will also have an additional $50K to add after selling one of them. What's the best choice to make? Side note, I bought the 92 Rene as my starters a few days before you said in your video that he doesn't play well. Should I sell and replace him instead? If so, who should I get? Okay, so either the 93 Weber or the 93 Team of the Week Pietrangelo. I would rather have the Team of the Week Pietrangelo, In terms of goaltender, if Rene plays well for you, that's fine. Again, a goaltender, in my opinion, is a lot more about who you're most comfortable with, because again, it's going to come down. A lot of it's in your head. But if you can sell him for quite a few coins and pick someone up like Smith, who I just answered below, that's a good option for sure. But I would go with the 93 team of the week, Pietrangelo over the Weber. Bar down 2917. Thanks. No problem. This one comes from Sam Stewart. Who should I focus on upgrading caps for tradable cards? Okay, 99 Lemieux, 98 Messier, 98 Rantanen, 95 Laine, Thornton, Modano, Wheeler, Hurdle, Mikheyev, 90 Virtanen, Ferraro, and Tatar. 92 Hamilton, Shara, Pareko, Niedermeyer, Myers, team of the season, Breton, Bishop, and Rene. I have about 200. Wow, this guy's your team is nuts. I have about 230K to spare. I just pulled an untradeable 92 Mike Green, who I can fill in a lefty spot if I decide to sell one of them off. What would you do with this team? Now, your offense is pretty gross, dude. I mean, the only thing on offense that you could potentially try and get as an upgrade would be to sell some stuff and make that the 99 Kopitar, because your center is where you're weakest on your forward depth, in my opinion. But it's not weak. I'm just saying weakest. On defense, though, you want to look at maybe a Brent Burns. A high Brent Burns might be an option. Also, you have really big right defensemen. You don't really have anyone that's fast and offensive like the 94 Carlson. That comes to mind as well. So those would be who I would target first. Either save some coins or sell them if you can for the 99 Kopitar or the 90-ish. I think it'd be 94 Carlson if that one's on the market. I believe that one was an upgrade though, but there should be a Carlson that you can grab. That type of player. So doesn't just over 6 foot, fast with a really, really good shot. You want to have someone offensive on that on the right-handed defenseman side. Bob Lee Swagger, love your videos, bro. Who do you got in a fight? A grilled cheese sandwich or a taco? Man, if we're talking normal tacos, I'm not a big fan, but like a soft shell, would definitely take a soft shell taco over a grilled cheese sandwich. But if you throw some ketchup on that, grilled cheese sandwich, I think, would be who I would take. Burner, hey, what's up, man? Just found your channel. Recently been loving the vids. My first line is a 94 Guy Lafleur, 93 Anisimov, 92 Matthews. I have 300K right now and 4 Icon collectibles. I'm in need of a new center for the first line or second line. Do I upgrade Lafleur to 97, use the leftover 100K for a center, or do I go all 300K on a center? What would your picks be for both those price ranges? Thanks, man. Okay, so my first line is 94 with the 93. 93 Misamov. I've said it a million times. That's pretty good. But 300K right now. Okay, so honestly, the 94 Guy Lafleur to the 97 is a decent upgrade, but you'd only have 100K left over. I would rather you have a better center. So the 97 Bonino would be a really, really good option in my opinion. And that's right around that price range. So that's who I would do. I wouldn't upgrade the 97 Lafleur just yet. I would fill out the rest, maybe pick up another center as well. So you have some depth before you upgrade that Guy Lafleur. Luca Tatino, hey man, love the vids. I got a 97 overall team, and I have the 97 Savard, but I was wondering if you would take Savard or the Chelios. I would take Savard. I think that card is really, really good. This one comes from Charlie Johannesson. Hey, slaves, thanks for the advice about McCabe. Bird, a clapper, first time on the ice. What a beast. I like the idea that you're choosing areas of upgrade, so here's my team. I hope it's okay. All right, so Mario, Mika, Forsberg, Nylander, Tomas Hertl, Naslund, Scheifele, Gretzky, Napier, a lot of Europeans. Robertson, Monahan. Defense is McCabe, Seth Jones, Vano, McDermott, McDonough, and Ronick. I'm stuck with a lot of untrainables, as you see, but I want to make either Mario or Gretzky 99 this weekend. Just a few icon collectibles short. Really appreciate the content and time you put into this. So, again, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to say this until it's pounded into everyone's head. So, the Nations of Hockey, Pavel Zacha, and the Artem Anisimov are both stupid values, and they would fit in really well with your team to get rid of, some of the bottom line guys that would bump these guys that would go up ahead. In terms of who you're going to make in Gretzky or Mario, the 99 Gretzky is more important than the 99 Mario because the 95 Gretzky, in my opinion, isn't all that good for a 99 or for a 95. The 95 Mario at least has size and everything like that and does play very well. So I find Mario is way more important than Gretzky if you were to in perfect world. But the 99 Gretzky compared to the 95 as opposed to the 95 Mario and the 99, it would be the Gretzky you want to upgrade first. So look for Pavel Zacha, Nations of Hockey, as well as the Artem Anisimov, and then go with Gretzky up to 99. Steven Peggs, 97 Getzlaf, or the Bergeron 98, 100% the Getzlaf. Perfect size and stats. Alexander Costello, hey Sleeves, 89 Yandel, or the 90 Comrie for my third pairing. Thanks for answering my question. Love the vids. I remember the Yandel card when it first came out. That's actually not a bad card at all. I would grab that Yandel. Kyle Grimmer, hey man, hope you're staying safe. Thanks, man. You too. Where would you categorize the 92 Parayko and 93 Seabrook compared to the top tier guys? I have them both and love them, but would there be anyone you like to take over them around the same price range? Looking at a team of the week, 95 Burns, and going for the whole size thing. There are guys with far better shots but lack size and just can't afford. Your comment kind of runs out, but we'll discuss this. So anything over the 95 Burns is really, really good. He's one of the best at the highest range, just because his size, shot, everything like that, but he is slow until he gets to that really high end, but the 95 is where the cutoff really is. He's a very good card. You really want big defensemen in this game. The lower guys with a good shot, they're not as important because now you have the giant guys that have a really good shot. So I would look to try and upgrade these guys with big players that have good shots as well. Definitely an important thing to do at this stage of the game. So like Hedman cards or Seth Jones cards, those are really, really good options as well. Brent Burns is a fantastic option, but look for defensemen that have shots now. Horace Silver, given that there's not a lot of Matthews cards on the market, would you suggest between 100 and 150K that has a similar build? I was thinking between 93 Monahan and an equal value of Horvat. Of course, anyone that you could suggest that is more capable would be awesome. 1T synergy is preferred, but not a deal breaker. Honestly, that 93 Monahan isn't bad at all. But again, 100 to 150K, guys. Nations of Hockey, Artem Anisimov. Literally, I believe the same height and very, very good stats. Second question. Sorry for the second question. If you had the 90 Raffle or 91 Pettersson, which one would you keep? Need to sell one to upgrade the other positions. Was going to get rid of my 88 Saad, but he's been one of my most consistent wingers. Again, like I answered in the questions down below, I really don't like Pettersson cards. I believe it was NHL. Was it 19? Was it last year? I had his team of the year, and I just cannot use his card effectively with my playstyle. I find that he gets bumped off the puck way too easy, regardless of how tall he is, and I think it's because of his weight. He's just very, very slender, so not a big fan of Pettersson, but again, that's personal preference if you do like him. Those are both fine cards, so choose what one you feel more comfortable with. Kyle Grimmer, got a good one for you. Who would you choose, 94 Nations of Hockey Koivu or the 94 trade deadline Thornton? Well, I'm a Sharks fan. I would go Thornton, but also Thornton is an animal. I would go with Thornton as well, regardless. Jack Mayer, having trouble finding a fourth line center. Young stars Cody Glass or flashback Joe Veleno or Spit and Chicklets Dylan Larkin. That Spit and Chicklets Dylan Larkin is great, but if all things considered, the young stars Cody Glass is an awesome card. Ben Jordan, 90 Kessel or the 90 Eichel. Key with the vids, I love it. The 90 Kessel, Eichel, as he goes up in stats, becomes one of the best cards in the game, but that 90 Kessel is really, really good. Hey, Sleeves, what goalie would you recommend? Team of the season, Steven, or team of the season, Dawes, or spend the extra coins to get team of the season, Hellebuck? Thanks, man. If you have to choose between one of these three, I would go with Dawes, but there are many other cheaper options, like the cheaper Sogards or Mike Smith, that you can go with, but if it's between those three, I would go with Dawes. So it comes from JV, 99 Kopitar or 99 Lemieux, 100% the 99 Kopitar. This one comes from Matthew Brock. I have the 95 Lemieux and 88 Solani. Which is worth upgrading first? Okay, this is going to depend on your team. If your team is stacked, I would upgrade the 95 Lemieux because the 99 is fantastic. But if you need to balance things out, I would go and upgrade the Solani. From Dylan McEntee, what was your favorite event in Shell in your mind and based on cards? All things considered, honestly, the All-Star Game cards. Only because it is the only time in the last decade of my life that I've been that interested in an All-Star Game, and it all because of how the HUT cards work, working with the skills competition and then how the actual game works. I think that was the coolest event, just based on interaction. In terms of this year, honestly, I loved the fantasy hockey event. Again, it kind of the same thing as the All-Star Game, but the Brady Tkachuk has become my favorite card, and all throughout the year waiting for him to become better and score those goals. Anything there's interaction with the NHL, that's top-notch in my opinion, and the content this year throughout the whole time has been absolutely fired. Even the Classic event from the very first event of the year was just really, really well done, and NHL has its problems, but I don't think the content is its problem. This one comes from Emil Hasbecca. Love the content, man. I have the Pronger 88 and the 89 coffee. Who should I upgrade? That Pronger at max level is the best defenseman in the game. Should I choose the 90 Morinson or the 91 Gardner for my Leafs build? If you're going based on like impact on the Leafs, it's Gardner, and it's not even close. So it comes from Eric Racine. Love the content. One off the radar, man, I have to say, for S, good price, is actually the 90 Probert. I play more physical, and he's been so good around that. Honestly, I think it was last year when those icon cards were first a thing. The Bob Probert was the first one I got, and he was on my team for a really long time. I loved that card last year. This comes from Jason Johal. 99 Kopitar or the 98 Kovalchuk, all depending on if you need a center or not. If you need a center, it's Kopitar. If it doesn't matter at all, I would go Kovalchuk because there's less top-end right-handers, I think, than lefties. All right, boys, so that is going to do it for today's episode. Again, if you want to guarantee your comment being read, make sure you just have it publicly subscribed to me, and you'll get your content read immediately and for sure on the next video. Again, thank you for watching, and all of the comments, please leave a like on the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.